Standing in front of this dazzling Russian church, you will be amazed by its colorful architecture and history. The Church of the Savior on Spilled Blood has been a memorial, a morgue, and a warehouse for potatoes. Known for the colorful onion-shaped domes that dot the St. Petersburg skyline, the Church of the Savior on Spilled Blood was erected on the spot of Emperor Alexander II's assassination in 1881. Inside the church, 7,500 square meters of mosaics, an abundance of Italian marble, and a variety of Russian precious stones decorate the walls and ceilings. The construction of the church took 24 years, costing over 4.6 million rubles. It was closed for services in the 1930s, when the Bolsheviks went on an offensive against religion. During the Second World War, the church was used as a temporary morgue, and after the war, it was used for vegetable storage, earning it the comical name Savior of Potatoes. This dazzling Russian church is home to some of Europe's most colorful architecture and history.
It can be beetles that come off a cactus. It can be the dried urine of a cow, little insects that grow on an oak tree, a chunk of lead that's soaked in vinegar. It's truly amazing. We're in Harvard University outside the Forbes Pigment Collection. Pigment is a very small particle of coloured material that is mixed in with a binding medium. The pigment gives paint its colour. The Forbes Pigment Collection has been brought together over several decades. We have around 2,500 pigments. We have a lot of very unusual and very rare colours. So this is, I think, one of the more unusually named pigments. It's called dragon's blood. It doesn't come from dragons, it comes from rattan palms, and it gives a very bright red pigment. The unusual aspect of mummy has to do with its source rather than the colour itself. And that comes from Egyptian mummies. And it's the resin that's applied to the outside of the bandages. I think the rarest colour that we have is actually an entire ball of Indian yellow. And this is a pigment that is made from the dried urine of cows that are fed only on mango leaves. If you're looking at a work of art and you want to understand what is original and what's a restoration, you will take a tiny sample of pigment and analyze it. A lot of the pigments are actually toxic, so you don't want to handle the pigments and then go out to lunch. There's a green called emerald green that has an arsenic centre to it. We can use them for telling if something is real or not. People will say this is by a certain artist, and we can look at the materials that are used and decide if those materials were available during that artist's lifetime. If not, then we have to look at who might have painted that picture. I can't pick a personal favourite. It's like asking to pick a favourite child. No, the other 2,400 would feel left out.
It's like my world is washed out, and I see fewer shades of color than most people do.
So normal people see 1 million colors. I may see as many as 100 million.
My name is Wendy. I'm a producer at CNN, and I am colorblind.
My name is Maureen Seberg. I'm a tetrachromat, and I'm an author. Tetrachromacy is the presence of a fourth cone class in your retina. If I keep naming my invisible colors, maybe I'll have my own Crayola box one day.
When I was in kindergarten, my teacher called my parents because I was coloring the leaves of my trees and the trunks of my trees the same color, because I couldn't really see the difference between green and brown.
The only time it was ever overwhelming is a paint contractor came to my house and brought no fewer than 32 samples before I was satisfied that it was a true beige.
When I pick out clothes, that's hard. I have been known to buy the outfit that the mannequin is wearing because I know that that goes together.
You don't want to go clothing shopping with me because the salespeople tell me, but it matches, and I can only look at them sympathetically and keep looking.
I never think like, oh, if I weren't colorblind, it would be so much easier to get dressed in the morning. It's kind of part of me.
I guess I'm a unicorn or something.
This bright, colorful temple located in southern India wasn't put on earth just to catch the eye. It's also one of the largest Hindu houses of worship. Welcome to the Shri Ranganathi Swami Temple. It is dedicated to the Hindu god of Ranganatha, a reclining form of the Hindu deity Vishnu. But this relaxed-looking god is one of the highest levels of Hindu idols. The temple, which has over 6 miles of walls and over 100 buildings, is one of the 5 important pilgrimage sites along the river Kaveri for devotees of Ranganatha. The temple itself is a beacon of the uniquely South Indian Dravidian style of architecture. Its temples are adorned with pyramid-shaped towers made from sandstone, soapstone, or granite. The first construction on this site dates back nearly 700 years. It grew and grew into the wonder that it is today, a site that will surely settle any pilgrim's wandering soul.
At first glance, visitors may not realize that inside this mosque is a multicolored secret. Located in Iran, the Nasr al-Mulk Mosque is commonly known as the Pink Mosque due to the rose-colored tiles that cover the interior. However, this is far from the only color found inside. A wall of stained glass windows turns the interior into a rainbow wonderland. Built in 1888, the mosque took 12 years to complete. Nasr al-Mulk features plenty of traditional Islamic architecture elements, such as the arches and the central structure. However, the presence of stained glass windows, a design element relatively rare for mosques, makes this particular mosque a unique and stunning sight to see. The stained glass in Nasr al-Mulk was built to catch the morning sunlight as it reflects off the walls and the brightly colored Persian rugs on the floor. The hope and intention was for the colors to create a peaceful atmosphere during early morning prayer. The Nasr al-Mulk Mosque has become as much of a destination for visitors seeking the perfect photo as those who still worship under the rainbow of light.
This colorful spot has a dark past. Las Palmitas was once a dangerous place with clashes between rival gangs. But the city government launched and funded a project called Pachuca Paints Itself to turn the community around. The painting itself involved participation from all of the households. They painted over 200 houses using 5,000 gallons of paint. These individually painted houses combined to make one beautiful rainbow design, inspired by Pachuca's nickname, La Bella Rosa, or the beautiful breezy city. The aim of the project was to bring a sense of liveliness and livability back to the city. The Ministry of Planning and Evaluation of the city of Pachuca has noted that the crime rate in the city has decreased since the mural was painted.
This is Rainbow, a red-sided eclectus parrot. That deep green plumage with a tint of blue signifies that Rainbow is a male bird. Female eclectuses have deep red feathers, and until the 20th century, males and females were considered different species. Native to Papua New Guinea, these beautiful birds nest high up in the tropical rainforests. They are considered to be extremely intelligent birds and amongst the best in talking ability for parrots. Their vocal skills and stunning plumage have made them highly desirable in the pet trade, while logging and other forms of habitat destruction have caused their population to decline steadily. This is the red-sided eclectus parrot.